Yo, what's up guys? So in this video, I'm going to be giving you the top 5 programming languages that you need to learn in 2021. So these are very high trending languages. A lot of them are getting a lot of popularity. And there's ones that are working in different fields, being obvious trendsetters for the future. And I think you would just be ashamed not to get into these different programming languages. So yeah. Hopefully you guys like it. Leave a comment below and let me know what languages you guys are like. So number 5. Now number 5 is honestly a wild card pick from myself. It's a language that is known as kind of the underdog language that is climbing to the racks as of late, and this is Golang, or Go in other words. All right, so Go is a statically typed compiled programming languages developed at Google. It's one of Google's own in-house programming languages, and it's actually gaining a lot of heat. So just going more into why I put this at number 5. So yeah, Go is a great language for people who are in between the levels of beginner to intermediate, and it's actually very helpful if you at least know a programming language as well, because wrapping your mind around the concepts of how Go structures its language can be a bit confusing at times. So that's why I would actually recommend that you have knowledge on a programming language before you go into Go. So Go is cross-platform and it is used on the desktop. And as for popularity, it's not as popular as, C++ and Java, but it is rising up to the racks amongst programmers in the community. Yeah, it has an increasing trend, and I think it would be a darn shame to not take advantage and even learn it before this trend spikes up in the future. So from a statistic from DICE, they said that 32% of professionals actually want to learn the language. And not to mention, for all my freelancers out there, it's one of the best hourly. So yeah, let's kind of look at the pros and cons of Go. So Go is considered minimalistic, it's easy to learn, it's compatible across a lot of different platforms, and it is fast. But some of the downsides that do come with it is that Go does not support generics. There's no generics in Go. And basically what generics means is you're gonna have to do a little bit more coding to get things done in this language. So the usage of Go is mainly used amongst Google applications, but you can see this used in cloud native apps and even in apps such as Docker and Kubernetes, which are very popular. So the average income for a Go or Golang developer, however you want to say it, is between $103,000 to $150,000. Yeah, that's you racking up some big money with this language. 4 goes to one of the oldest languages that is known to the programming community, and I still feel like it's very, very smart to invest into it. And this is C and C++. Hey, you're still looking good there. Yeah, you've been here for a long time, man. Yeah, you keep chilling. That beard's looking good. Beard's looking good. Yeah, C and C++, yeah, it's been around for a while. And honestly, the level for this can really vary from beginner to advanced, and some of the concepts in C are more difficult than C++, which is why they would say C is more intermediate to advanced. But I would actually just recommend, just want to get into a C language, definitely choose C++ first. It is beginner friendly. So yeah, some of the places that you can see C++ used is in the mobile space, desktop, and one of the well-known spaces is embedded systems. So C++ is one of the world's most popular languages. It actually has one of the world's most active communities for programming. Benefits of learning C++. So number 1, you're gonna learn the fundamentals at a very low level. And when I mean low level, you're gonna be working very close to the hardware. You have higher control over your resources. You have a large community of support. Like I said, this is one of the most popular languages, so that community support is definitely there. And last but not least, it is scalable. It has amazing scalability, which is why it survived in the industry all this long time. So one of the disadvantages that comes with C and C++ is, either break it to you, pointers. Yeah, pointers. Man, haven't we had our share of pointers? It is a disadvantage, and it's not something too commonly look forward to when you're going to the language. So another thing is there is no garbage collector. And then on top of that, it kind of has security issues. It isn't the best at security. But like I said, C and C++ is a very versatile language. It can be used in things such as operating systems, even for developing some games. And one of the large areas is embedded systems itself. And not to mention, database software is actually a very common area as well that has a lot of C and C++ code. So what are you bringing in for being a C developer? So yeah, the average C and C developer is in the average of making $80,000 to $140,000 in a year. So my number 3 is actually going to be Kotlin. Kotlin is a cross-platform, statically typed, general-purpose programming language. And this is one of the other ones that come from, again, the thanks of So Kotlin, honestly, I'm going to rank it as a level from intermediate to advanced, and that's because it's mainly and more useful for if you actually know Java. So if you actually take the time to know Java, adjusting to Kotlin is kind of a huge benefit. So make sure before you actually jump in that you kind of brush up on some Java, because it can actually help you out a little bit. So the platforms that Kotlin can kind of be used in is, it can be used in anything from the web to mobile to desktop to servers. It's actually a very widely used language. Kind of why it ranks so high is because it's just so versatile, and with where technology is going, this versatility is just highly needed. And not to mention, it's gaining popularity. And yeah, even with regards to ranking, Kotlin has honestly been compared and been up there with the trends and usage of some of these top programming languages, and it's only going to get more popular thanks to its versatility. Yeah, Kotlin is less code heavy. The thing that you would have had to do in about 20 or 30 or so lines, or maybe it's, just like this extended function that is just huge, that you would have done in Java, Kotlin can pretty much reduce that, cut it in half just about. It's just a very simplified language, and kind of like the opposite of what I was saying what Go was, where you're doing more code with Go. Well, with Kotlin, you're kind of writing less code but achieving more. Thanks to that, it's very easy to catch on, and it is Java compatible, which is why it's just so useful to learn Java, so you can intertwine your Kotlin skills within your program. So kind of the downsides of Kotlin is that it has a slow compilation. I don't know why I can't say this word right now. Compilation. I feel like I'm saying it weird. I feel like I'm saying it weird. But compilation. If I'm saying it weird, I'm saying it weird. It does have a small community. There's not as many experts in it as such as again, other popular programming languages, but it is so strong and versatile, and it is gaining in popularity, and it's a powerful language to use, and I feel like you should actually take the time to learn it, because it's not kind of like it's not going to stand as a set alone language. Like I said, it is Java compatible, so you can even just use your Java skills that you currently have and just further leverage them and write less code by learning Kotlin. So if you're honestly a Java developer, I'm really going to put Kotlin as a language for you to know going into 2021. So yeah, the degree of usage for Kotlin, it can be used client side, server side, and even in mobile development, Android specifically. Kotlin developers, listen, y'all are eating pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. A Kotlin developer can make between 120,000 and honestly some of the top earners are pulling up to $170,000. Hey, like I told you, join that collective group of people pushing the applications further with Kotlin. It will definitely be worth it. And not to mention, you're gonna be writing less lines of code. So JavaScript is ranked at number 2 for the language that you should learn in 2021, and it's abbreviated as JS. Pretty much a high level and in cases just in time compiled language, and not to mention multi-paradigm. Yeah, and it's honestly just very straightforward to get into. I know a lot of people actually do use this as one of their first languages. It can really be ranked from beginner to expert, because again, if you're sticking with that vanilla basic JavaScript, just getting into the groove of how to use the language, it can just really help you kind of understand the language of programming. But even up to the expert field, when you're pulling in different frameworks, Angular, Next, Express, it can add incremental learning curves and capabilities to what you're doing. And not to mention, one of the most popular for server side thing, Node.js. So yeah, it's just very flexible, and it can be used in just so many different aspects, and you can really cross the whole board with your development. So yeah, I guess like the platform that JavaScript is used on, it can be used in web, mobile. When you're using those open source development platforms, it can be used for server side things. It can even be used to develop cross-platform applications. It's just a very flexible language that you can just apply to different areas, and yeah, it's honestly a very good pick for just getting the most out of your projects in 2021, because this can pretty much be applied everywhere. At least somebody everywhere, freelance, industry, somebody's always. And again, some of those open source development platforms. So yeah, benefits of JavaScript. So again, like the really big one is the cross development features. It's just very great. It's really great. And not to mention, I think I kind of mentioned this before, so I should just throw this up here. It's a very easy to learn language. Anybody can catch on. It's an event-based programming language, and all that means is the flow of the app is basically determined by users' actions. It has amazing frameworks, guys, from Express to Angular. The list can go on. It does lack some areas in security, and it is kind of a fuss when you come down to browser compatibility. So for popularity, yeah, it's one of the most popular programming languages. Like, there's 11 million developers actively daily using this. Community is definitely there. You're gonna find this is about everything you need, whether it's Stack Overflow or you just need to reach out to somebody. The community is there. It's very popular, and a lot of organizations and companies do want these developers that have JavaScript skills. It's actually almost kind of like common knowledge, at least from like the different things I've been on. You're gonna have to, I feel like just everybody in their life at some point is gonna have to write some JavaScript line. JavaScript developer can make anything between $70,000 and up to $110,000 in a year's worth of work. This is definitely a worthwhile language. All right, number one, and that is, I don't know, guess it's Python. It's Python. Yeah, it was supposed to be a snake. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was supposed to be a snake. But yeah, Python is my number one. I feel like it should be the most important language in 2021. And why do I say that? So this is another language that I kind of rank from beginner to expert. I feel like whether you're just getting into programming versus, you know, somebody who's been in programming for a minute, it's one of those things that can kind of satisfy all skill levels. And that is not to say, I know I've been saying this, that the other languages could not satisfy, you know, experts or, you know, beginners. Just the capabilities that I'm just saying, like, they can range from being very simple to having you scratch your head on answering some of the hardest problems in the world. Python is a language that does that. And yeah, just a fun fact about Python, since it's our number one, the logo is actually based on the Mayan representation of snakes. How dope does that sound? Like, so yeah, just straight and simple, why is Python my number one? You can be very productive very quickly, and you can answer some very important problems with the language. So yeah, one of the benefits of Python is that it's just so flexible. Kind of like I said with everything else, Python is a very flexible language, and honestly, compared to the other ones, this one is also very easy to use. Yeah, and it's just naturally intuitively readable. So based off of like the indentions, how the whole, you know, Python's, you know, the script or file is kind of, you know, written out, it's just very easy to read and comprehend compared to other languages. It has highly regarded documentation and tutorials. There's just a plethora of information out there that can get you ready, set, and running with Python. So yeah, it also has extensive libraries, improved productivity. Yeah, the list can go on and on in this area, and it's just such a great language. Disadvantages of this language do include speed limitations, and it is kind of weak in mobile computing and browsing. It does have some design restrictions as well, but that is not to take away from the amazing language that Python is. So yeah, Python is one of those things that is just blazing forward because it's just popular everywhere with students, with companies, and education. Just handling simple operations from us, whether you want to make a calculator as your first project, to coding up a smart mirror to kind of deck out your smart house hub, or being used in the sense of machine learning and deep learning to answer some of the world's deepest questions. So Python can be anything as low as 90,000, and some of the highest earners in this language are actually taking home up to 140,000 in a year. So yeah, it's not too shabby. So yeah, just to close it out, those are my top 10 programming languages that you should learn in 2021, whether you're a beginner or an expert. I feel like everyone can kind of grab value from this video, and honestly, just picking one of these languages you cannot go wrong with. Make sure you like and subscribe. More awesome content is coming in 2021, and don't forget to hit that notification bell because you want to be notified when I'm dropping a new video. But I want to know what you guys think. So if you don't exactly agree with my top 5, or maybe I left out a language that you felt should be in there, definitely comment below. Listen, I'm trying to get y'all on y'all game for 2021. I'm trying to make sure y'all are in the position to take advantage of these opportunities, make some of these high salaries, you know, building some of the breathtaking things that are going to transform the future. So, and these are the languages that are going to do it. All right, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.